Open House Studio. Open at door of imagination. Everybody, and thank you so much for coming out to our panel. I am Nicholas Cruz. I am president of Open House Studio. So for those who are wondering what exactly is Open House Studio, we are actually a dubbing company that's upcoming right here in South Florida. So we're local, we're doing anime, we're doing audio dramas, a bunch of indie projects, including video games.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a smidge. A smidge. But the big thing is what we try to do with Open House Studio that's a little bit more different compared to your standard studio. We try to empower actors to realize that there's a lot of positivity that can come from voice acting. Think, well, voice acting, okay, I come up to a microphone, you know, I just talk into a microphone and there, I'm good, I do my lines, I'm done, that's it. Yep. But one thing, if you come here and you realize, Florida SuperCon, right, big con, what are we all here for? Characters that we love. Characters that we know, we have anime, video games, animation, look at that, we got Minions, we got Assassination Classroom,
I'm just here for
South Park, you know, we got all different kinds of forms of media that we see, and that all comes from voice acting. We don't ever actually see the actors, so what do we do in order to captivate an audience? What do we do in order to make them say, all right, this is a character that I know and love and can really get attached to? Of course, you know, when in the studio we make a character, we put a lot of backstory, we give them a lot of information, their personality, but the personality can come alive only through the actor. Just like if you go to a play or a theater, those are the things that you will see in a performance. So before we touch on all these subjects, let me go ahead and introduce some of my cast members and people that I am so happy to work with. So first off, we have Jason Grunberg.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Jason. Man, public speaking? Dude, I do this in a room with like a microphone. Hi guys, I play Berthold for the Attack on Titan redub. I actually recently got into voice acting. This is my first gig. I actually randomly ran into Nick one day. We got talking. He was playing Persona music, so he was already in a mood.
Pretty much.
I've learned that one recently. But we got down to it, and he offered me an audition to play, I believe it was Connie, Bertolt, and then there was one more, Hannes, because yeah, and well, I heard her Connie, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. That guy's good. But we didn't have a Bertolt voice, so I just decided, why not? Let's try it, and it just went well. You can still find my first take online. It is terrifyingly bad. But then in my official character trailer, like, we fine-tuned it a lot. It took weeks, like, I think a couple months of hard work to get it there.
Hard work, absolutely.
Oh yeah, like, you've never had a sore throat till you've been talking for 5 hours straight into a microphone at one point, just to make your voice sound one way. I'm gonna pass it back to Nick, because that's me.
Thank you, Jason. This is Jason. Round of applause. Now, the big thing with Open House Studio, we do definitely do a lot of scouting. But we like to find local talent. We like to bring in local people because we feel like being part of the community is actually a big aspect. So we actually have a new talent that's recently joined with Open House Studio who has an incredible voice. Most amazing baritone voice I've ever heard. If you guys ever played Persona 5, who's here's ever played Persona? Who here likes Persona? I know we got a couple cosplayers who love Persona. Absolutely amazing Igor voice, and he's part of our audio drama for Persona 5. So this is Chase Dancy.
Oh, that's me. Okay. I thought you were. All right. Hi everyone, I'm Chase. I'm an amateur voice actor, professional disappointment in life, and all around trash heap. Basically, no, I voice Igor in the Steal My Life Goro Akechi story. That was my first role at Open House Studios. I discovered that through a little Facebook page. It's a fan page for Persona called The
Chase, sorry to cut you off. We have mics?
Oh, we have mics. We have mics. Let's do some slice bread. Am I right, fellas?
I don't know, man. You had hot tea?
Ooh, sure shit. Okay. Yeah, no, anyway, oh wow, that's good. Much better. No, anyway, yeah, no, I discovered Nick and the Open House crew through Persona 5 pretty much. I sent in my audition for Igor, and Nick liked it so much, just sort of like, yeah, just come on in, kid, just do more stuff. And currently, I am voicing Reiner for the Attack on Titan fan dub. So far, that has been an interesting experience because just sort of like instead of like an audio format, I'm moving on to just like visual format as well. So that's like a whole challenge. It's just sort of like it's challenging me as not only an actor, but just sort of like what my capabilities are. And I feel like that's the best thing an actor can find, just sort of like challenges. If you can like overcome them, sure, it's a little bit awkward and sometimes it'll be a little bit like, I don't like this. But just like, I think overcoming through the best of that makes you just all around a good actor. And all right, I might as well just get this out of the way for all you Persona geeks out there.
Welcome, trickster, to my velvet room.
Oh, okay. Please stand. Sorry for the feedback, you guys. So let's put that up here. Switching it. He's a big guy. Look.
Yeah. Is yours?
All right, so there we go. Much better. No, that's a heck of a lot better. So just to talk a little bit more about, just so you guys know, because I'm pretty sure you guys are questioning, what's the AOT redub? What is that? So basically, our studio is partnered up with another studio in Canada to redo Attack on Titan's English dubbing. I actually voice Levi Ackerman. This is Reiner. And then, of course, we have Bertolt. And then we actually have one of our also upcoming voice actress, Ari. Ari, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Come on up, girl.
Hello, my name is Ariel Price. I voice Princess Anastasia in Lustrous. I have a few other gigs, Val in a audio drama, and I play a lot of the extras and a few characters who die in Attack on Titan redub.
You might recognize her as the famous video game character Ruby. I mean, that. Oh,
No,
God.
no.
My bad.
Okay, yes,
Santa
yeah.
Chase.
So close.
You almost had it.
You might
But-
recognize her from you'll recognize her soon from the screams of citizens from when we,
Yes.
take the city.
Yes, the screams of, the horrible screams of citizens.
Truly a professional role.
Well, it does take a lot though, because it's hard. It is hard.
We do
it's
kill
harder
a lot
than
of people.
It's harder than people realize, because it's when you're screaming and you're impersonating someone who's in pain, you have to open up a whole nother side of yourself, and and it's sometimes you have to open up old wounds to get a lot of the sadder parts, but it is worth it, way worth it.
All right, Ari. So just basically touching on it, so now we're going to bring back to the subject of voice acting itself. So a lot of you are wondering, well, this is a voice acting panel, voice acting 101, so what does it take to be a voice actor? So that is what I call the golden question that voice actors get all the time. How do I get in the industry? How do I get my foot in the door? Do I just buy a microphone and just start talking right away? The answer to that is no. The big thing you gotta understand is that when it comes to voice acting, it's just more than just putting your voice to a microphone and just talking. The one thing I always tell everybody is find your voice. And what I mean by that is finding what kind of range you have. Some people have that, oh boy, really up here? That really, really high octave range. And they can go really, really low, dark and mysterious. Kind of like Batman. Batman, kind of like that. So you have so many different ranges you can go from. But the thing is you got to find out what's comfortable for you. And really using what we call the diaphragm. The diaphragm is what we call the actor's best friend. It is your tool to use in any type of gig that you want to do. Of course, it comes with practice, reputation, figuring out, okay, I can do higher octaves, I can do lower, but mid to range, and you can go from there. But there is a good news that I want to let everybody know in here. It's pretty good news. It's very good news. You guys
Good
like,
news,
who here likes
everyone.
good news? Who here likes good news? Raise your hand if you like good news.
And about
Yeah.
Jesus?
Good news, everyone.
Good news, everyone. The good news is that there is literally a role for everyone. That's the good news, that you can always find a voice acting role no matter what kind of voice you have.
That's
I have
right, even you.
even
Especially you.
Especially you.
Especially
Yes, you. Well, that's pointing at himself. Just for that, you get double the chance of getting a role.
Spray paint Simone.
Spray paint Simone. But the good news is that yes, there's a role for everybody, whether you have a nasally voice to a really low voice, to high-pitched voice, to a person that sounds sick all the time. You know, there's so many different projects and indie voices that you can do, and it's really, really good for one huge reason, the positivity through acting. You know, we see a lot of times through a lot of famous actors who have been through so much in their lives, and they need to find an outlet. Whether it be something, a traumatic experience they've been through, whether they feel lonely, lost, whatever the case may be, voice acting can really, really empower you as a person to reach new heights, to become a better positive person, and help out your community to see new heights. And I think that's such a beautiful experience that I've learned over the time that I've been doing voice acting. So I've been doing about for almost 2 years, and I've been doing broadcasting for 10. So I've done different fields of multimedia just to see what it's like, kind of move around, get an idea of what the different styles are. And I will say that lives that have changed is incredible. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience, and I can believe that these three can contest to that. So Chase, do you want to give out a little bit of your personal experience of how voice acting has really changed you?
Oh, okay, all right. Oh God, I have to give people life advice. Ooh.
He's not good at it.
I'm not.
Yeah, but the people
All right.
gives you advice.
Just your personal experience through voice.
Okay. So I've been acting a lot since like high school, since like early high school. I remember just like my earliest role as just random Greaser #1 in my high school production of Grease. And just sort of like growing up, not only with acting, but also voice acting, I knew the inevitable goal was voice acting because just sort of like, don't get me wrong, I like acting itself, but just sort of like, I mean, look at me. I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm like 6'4". I have size 15 shoes. I put Ronald McDonald out for a run. So pretty much just sort of like with voice acting, there's so much possibilities you can do. There's so much like things you could put yourself into. Like no matter what you look, what your race is, whatever you are, you can do it. It's just a matter of just like getting out there and putting the time into it. And yeah, it's just sort of like, don't get me wrong. It's like, voice acting is acting. Some people are always just sort of like, oh, you just go into like the microphone, just do like a bunch of wacky voices and like, kids, boys and girls. Well, no, it isn't. It is completely its own thing. Acting and voice acting are of the same like tree. There's different branches, same tree. And just like, I'd say, if you really wanted to get into voice acting, just like get your chops, like do some troops, take some classes and whatnot, and just sort of like get in there and just really know your stuff. But in the end, it's all about you as a person, just sort of like getting out there and like putting in the time of just like doing audition after audition. Sometimes you may not get one, sometimes you will get one, and sometimes, you know what? That's what acting is all about. It's that constant just like belief of just sort of like, okay, either I get it or I don't. Because if you think you put all your might into one thing and then don't get it, that's gonna crush you. So always keep striving for just like that next role. Keep doing it, because eventually there are tons of different people with tons of different ears. Eventually you are going to find that one person that does love your voice and want you in for more. And thankfully, that's what I found with Nick, and I appreciate every minute I spent with it. So, yeah.
Well said, Chase, well said.
Yeah.
Well said, Chase, and it goes to show that Chase. So well said, Chase. I think he said it better than anyone else. It's that you are going to get times where you audition for a role. You're going to get turned down, whether the director's nicely putting you down or the worst way possible. Just take everything with a grain of salt and don't ever give up. It took me about a good 2 years to really actually get to a good role. So recently, I just signed a deal with Sony for an indie project. It's coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, and the PC. What the game is, I can't say because I'm under a contract.
Yeah,
but yeah, sorry, yeah, NDR. Yeah,
that's a lot you just gave away, though.
Yeah, I know. But I will say this: it took me a good 2 years, and it was a lot of auditioning, practicing, but keep striving. You will get there. You just got to keep believing and sending out those auditions, networking, and you will see that your fruits of labor will come into fruition. But I want to pass on the mic to Jason. Jason, you want to give a little bit of an aspect of how voice acting changed your life a little bit?
Sure, why not? So what really got me with voice acting is all these people that I've met. Like, I met Chase for the first time like last week in person. I met Ari today.
Same.
Yeah, like
Today.
We had no idea who she was. We knew her online, that was it.
Well, online is still knowing, so not all your friends have to be in real life.
I could have sworn that was the real life Schnee for all I know.
Flattery. No, but like actually to go on what Chase and Nick were saying, like I've only auditioned for a few roles, like probably less than 10. I got one of them as Beerus in a parody for Dragon Ball Battle of Gods, but instead of getting turned down or getting it, I got the role, and I checked online the other day, and they just canceled the project because nobody was auditioning for it. That's the other thing you have to worry about. Like when you're doing these amateur roles and these roles that you're going to do for free just to get your foot in the door, you really have to worry about, is this project going to go anywhere? Because who knows if they're going to get the people they want, or people just lose motivation. So that's a big factor. But through meeting Nick, Chase, Ari, everybody on the Discord, our director John, the guy who like started the Attack on Titan project itself, like these are some of the best people I've met in a long time.
I love you, John.
John's the best.
John's great.
But like I actually got my start just by doing debate in high school and doing goofy voices for like debate tournaments with interpretations of comedies. Like after that, it just stopped. Like I said earlier, I found Nick randomly, so like it will be weird how you get into it, or it will be planned. There's no in between. Should I pass back to you, or should I pass to Tori?
And well said, Jason. I think these are all things to really keep perspective. And you know, there's always a saying: you can't beat them, join them. And I've been turned down by huge, different companies, Funimation, Viz Media, Microsoft, all turned down. But I didn't let that stop me, and I just kept pushing. And now I'm finally progressing, and I can tell a lot of you guys can see the inspiration once you start doing it, and it's fun. It's a great outlet for us to kind of be positive and share that with others. So I kind of want to do one thing before we hop into it. So Ari, do you want to say some few words about how the voice acting changed you a little bit?
When I first started voice acting, my first idea was, oh, I want to be big. I want to be like Vic. I want to be somebody, I want to be remembered. I want to be large. And I realized that it's really not all about that. I mean, it's important to get noticed, by a few, have projects and have work. And it takes work, a lot of auditions, and it's really tough, and sometimes you can feel real bad about it. Oh, I didn't get this role, or I got turned down for this, or I'm never getting anywhere. Don't feel like that. Don't let it stop you. Keep pushing. You're gonna get there. And I've gotten here, and I've gotten many places. I'm a vocalist. I've been in many film shows, but voice acting was something I didn't think about too much till I started getting into anime culture and video games, and I started realizing this is still acting, and this is actually more beautiful because you can be anybody. You can slip right into a character, and you can bring people to life. And that's what, if you want to be a voice actor, focus on bringing the character to life. Make it beautiful, make it an art.
Amen, sister. I want that on a poster.
What's that?
That would be a very large poster.
Make it beautiful, make it to life. 2018.
Oh, really?
Remember this.
Where are the SuperCon people taking down quotes?
Seriously. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to show you guys a little bit of a teaser of our Attack on Titan trailer that we have coming out, which will be releasing in August, just so you guys can see what it's like, how a trailer is done. Reiner's in this trailer as well, so you get to hear his amazing baritone voice.
Oh boy.
It's incredible. So hopefully the audio is, they fixed it. If not, then we'll just skip ahead from there.
Raise your hands to the sky to get the screen energy.
Do it. Screen. Give me your energy.
Spirit bomb. Yes. I don't think that would help.
Nope, no audio.
Oh, you didn't believe it. Now you know what? You know why Mr. Satan wasn't there to lead us.
That's okay.
I got a stomachache.
No worries. So then I think it's time for us to start getting down to voice acting 101. Who's ready to learn about some voice acting? Come on, give me some energy. All right, let's take this with me. Come on down. It's time for voice acting 101. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get ourselves warmed up. So I want everybody to stand up. Stand up with me. Come on, get up, come on. It's SuperCon, people. What are we doing here sitting down?
It's the last day.
All right.
You gotta be lazy.
Last day, let's get some energy going. So what I want to do is kind of just move your arms around. Just get loosed up. Loosen up. There you go.
Should I take off?
Really good.
You're nervous,
Like
really.
jellyfish it, just like
Jellyfish it, SpongeBob jellyfish it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Come on. There you go.
It's an open house. We ain't judging.
Yeah, it's positivity. I like how he just moves his fingers.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's the energy. Gotta get it flowing.
So now, okay, so we just loosened up a little bit. Yeah, Kyle's got it. Wait, did you see? There we go. Hey, Kyle's got it. All right, guys. So now we're just loosening. So we're just loosening it up here, guys. It's actually really important. There's something really interesting that a lot of people tend to forget. Our entire diaphragm right here in the belly, the stomach region, all this coming up is all veins and muscles. Everything is connected. So when you loosen up, you feel this. Do this. Just roll your shoulders. Roll your shoulders. If you listen to my voice very carefully, that drops. It's getting lower. I'm not doing that on purpose. It just does it naturally. I learned from the great Morgan Freeman. Yes, that Morgan Freeman. That Morgan Freeman. Yes. If you actually yawn, so everybody yawn with me. Didn't get much sleep last night. And if you speak, your voice becomes naturally deeper. To hear the difference in the deepness, now it's just a lot deeper. I'm not changing my voice. It's naturally deep. Now, why you're probably wondering, well, how did that happen? How did it just become naturally deeper? If you notice when you wake up in the morning, your voice sounds like something out of a radio, like a radio station from like a smooth jazz radio. That's because your muscles up here in your chest region are relaxed. So when you're relaxed, your voice becomes naturally deeper. And that's how with Chase, he can get that nice, rich baritone voice that I can never reach. That Gladio, that really deep Gladio voice. So he does really, really, really well because his muscles in his vein top side of his chest are very, very relaxed. And that's how you get a naturally deep voice. So now that we're all standing, I want everybody to turn to the person next to them and give them a high five. Give them a high five. Even if you don't know them, give them a high five. There we go, positivity. And there you go, hey. Say hello, say hi, give them a high five. There you go. Go send that positive. Now that had absolutely nothing to do with voice acting. I just want you guys to high five and just bring the positivity. Get to know each other.
Stop abusing your power, Nick.
I'm sorry, I have to. But there you go. Just a little positivity. You guys can sit back down now. You guys can sit back down. I'm just getting you guys a little warmed up. Getting you guys awake. Very nice. Good job, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. All of you guys. Round of applause for standing up. Wow. 2 whole minutes. You guys did it.
Guinea pigs.
Thank you.
So hard to do.
I know. So now, one key thing, as we mentioned earlier, voice acting again, of course, reiterating it like a bajillion times, but it's more than just, coming to a microphone and just, hi, my name is blah, 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 John Doe, how are you? And that's voice acting. Yeah, no, you have to put a lot of emotions and different range into your voice, depending on the character, of course. So let's say, for example, right, let's say I get a young hero, right? He is very, very, very happy. So think anime. If you guys watch, I hope you guys watch anime. Who here watches anime? Watch anime, raise your hand. There we go. There we go.
Hey, just go with Best Boy.
Guess we're gonna go with Best Boy. So if let's say we're watching like a young teen heroes, most shown in anime is we have the young guy coming into a valley. So sometimes in the script you'll see something like happy, or you'll see sad, and it's kind of your job to kind of dictate what's going on. So sometimes you read like the setting. So it'll say, boy lost family. Everyone's dead, you're sad. I'm like, oh, I hope he's sad. This is what feelings. And I'm just like, oh, well, okay.
Positive, man.
So let's just say, well, we're gonna turn to 360. So let's say it's a sad character, right? So let's go ahead and bring into it. I'm gonna do it with no voice acting. I'm just gonna say random lines, right? And then we're gonna do with some voice acting, and let's see what the difference is like. So let's say, oh man, I lost my family. Everybody's dead. Sorry. Right? Awkward, right? Completely awkward. Now let's try the same thing, but with voice acting. Let me take off my glasses.
Oh boy, it's serious. You know it's serious.
I do the same.
I've lost everyone. I couldn't save them. What's the point of even doing this anymore? I've lost everyone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't do it. Forgive me. Forgive me for everything I've done. I promise you one day I'll come back for you. Just go to script 2. All right, until you have so you have that sad emotion. Completely different. Oh my gosh, I'm actually tearing up a little bit. So you guys can see the huge difference, right? We had that monotone, hey, sorry you lost your family, kid. Okay. And then that, I'm so sorry you lost your family, man. We do this a lot of times naturally when we reconcile, when we want to apologize to someone. It's all a psychological thing, too, if you think about it in your daily life. If you ever notice, who here has kids? Who has children? Who here are parents? So we see the 1, 2, 3. If you ever noticed when your kids are always complaining, they want something, what's the first thing they do? They cry, right? They're always, I want this. You want to know their babies? I can't. What we call crocodile tears. It's a psychological thing. It's to make you feel bad, to make you vulnerable. And that's a lot of the key things you have to think about as an actor. What gets the audience thinking to be vulnerable, to be sad? We cry, we shake our syllables in voice acting to give it a more shaky or a breaking of our voice. So those are key things to think about when you get into a booth, like, okay, it's a sad character, I'm going to think of myself as a young kid, I want something, I'm just going to be really sad and just go with the flow from there. That's a key aspect. But now let's say things are turned. Let's say we're happy, right? Everybody's happy, smile, and everything's glitz and glamour. I'm arriving in a new town, so same thing, I'm a young hero, young shonen hero you see in anime all the time. I'm happy, I'm smiling, everything's great and grand. I'm entering this huge village, right? This giant magical village I've been waiting for, and my adventure is about to begin. So let's try it with no voice acting, right? We're just gonna go plain Joe, just simple, easy. So, oh my goodness, I made it to this village. I can't believe it. Look at this. There's this over here, there's cows and hot steam baths and look at the freaking horses. And then it's just, it's just plain. It's like, okay, well, he's kind of a boring character. But now let's try it with voice acting. So now what you want to do is what I like to do with a lot of voice actors. You can ask, I just spoke to Chris, you guys who know the voice of Gladio from Final Fantasy 15. He's here at SuperCon, so I actually spoke to him a little bit about this. And it's about portraying and different inflections in your voice. So you want to be happy, right? So you don't come in there boring in your new adventure. You're like very like, wow, I can't believe it! After all these years of training, I finally made it to this village. Oh man, look at the hot steam beds, the freaking horses. These beds are smooth and silken. I've been waiting so much for my life. Oh, I can't believe it! Huge difference. Huge difference from that plain to happy, glamour, and you're like, oh man, this guy's excited. So we're gonna do an exercise. I'm gonna call up Chase. Oh dear.
Everybody give a round of applause for Chase. Chase, stand here, everybody. Chase, come on over this side. Come on. You're not safe here.
Hi. Do you need this,
You're not
Chase?
safe. Yeah, you'll need that. So, Chase,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
You sound nervous.
Improv is my kryptonite.
Exactly why I called you.
Oh, gosh.
So notice something here. Very interesting. As I called him up, hear how his voice shakes, right? Very, he's nervous. It's his first time.
Just a tiny tremble.
A tiny tremble, but that's okay. That's something interesting when you want to think about when you do a nervous character. Think of all the little things that I'm doing here. So now, Chase.
Yes.
You're nervous.
Yes.
But now I want you to play a character that's very confident. I want you to play your character that you do for Attack on Titan redub, Reiner.
All right.
Let's do here. You do a little bit of Reiner. Give us some positivity, like you're pumping up the crowd. We're about to go into a huge battle.
All right. Hi, I'm Reiner from Attack on Titan. You may know me from such familiar shows as like Attack on Titan Season 1 or Attack on Titan Season 2. I apologize if my voice isn't as good today, but I promise you it's much better in the actual product. Anyway, I want to say this to you. You all think that you can't do it. You all think that you can't climb up that hill. Well, I'm going to tell you, you are wrong! All of you, wrong! Because you let the one critic take control of you. And that one critic is you. You let yourself think that I can't do this. You let yourself think that you can't climb up that hill. Where I am here to say that you can't do it. Kick yourself in the ass. Go on, kick it, because that is the biggest liar ever. I'm here to say that I am you. I am the one inside of you that tells you that you can do it. You can rise up. You can be a warrior. You can kill that dragon!
Amazing. Thank you, Chase. I like how he frustratingly pointed at you with the L's ears. I'm so sorry. It's you! But great job, Chase. Wow, I was not expecting that. That felt great. Amazing.
We're not nervous at all anymore.
Yeah, now he's not nervous anymore. See that? Incredible.
I hope it was good enough for you as it was for me.
Self-doubt.
All ages panel, Chase, please.
So you guys can see there how he changed it. What he did was something very, very interesting that captivated you guys. I watched very carefully on all your eyes. You guys really focus on his mouth. Why? Because that's where a lot of the volume is projecting. So what he did was intensify, or what I like to call a stairway or an elevator. He went from here, all the way to the top, and then all you guys were like, whoa, oh my god, kill the dragon, let's do it right now, I'm so pumped. Let's get a squad and let's go kill that dragon. So you guys noticed that. There's the different escalators going up.
Levels.
Different levels, absolutely, nice job. Come here, get a high five, come here, come on. This man gets a high five. What's your name, sir?
Bradley.
Yeah, I do a little bit of fan stuff. Nothing professional so far. I recently got cast for a fan project as Fox McCloud. So,
Hey, yo!
Congratulations, buddy. All right. Thank you, Bradley.
I do a little better.
One more high five. Good job, Bradley. So those are little things as well. So you can notice that the escalator went from high, and then it's a loud and booming voice, and then it captured all you guys. Those are things to keep in mind when you get into a script. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind, there's a difference between booming your voice and then just going full on Super Saiyan and then fainting in the middle of a booth. Looking at Vegeta. So you have to be very, very careful with that.
That was actually Sean Shamil, or Shamil if you want to say it right.
Excuse me. So, there's a huge difference between doing the escalator trick to get your voice to the point where it needs to be booming and then yelling. So let me give you guys a good example of the difference between the two. So screaming, of course, or yelling, it's like that, oh my god, no! That's screaming.
Ow. Sorry about that. Probably should turn this down.
I think, yeah, let's take
Probably did.
smart just like that.
Voice acting, you guys will be fine. So, and then booming your voice is more projecting it, more like, hey, I'm sick and tired of you always doing this to me. You're always putting the food over on the table, whatever, Jason. That kind of thing.
I want a divorce.
Me too. The kind of thing, you know. So notice how there was a difference between the screaming and the booming. You know, screaming was a very loud, like in your face kind of thing, and then booming is just more of a projection of getting a certain emphasis on certain lines. So we can say, for example, if you notice the way that I said cleaning, you never clean. Those are shaking an emphasis on certain words to portray a certain emphasis on a pinpoint of a script. So sometimes you'll see a different syllable on a word that'll be like emphasis or an asterisk, and that'll mean that, okay, you either intensify it or, you know, add some dynamic to that specific word you're going to say. And that will really, you know, be the game changer of how you're doing a script. So keep those things in mind. All those little things when you go to a script, you see it asterisk, if it's shaken, or if it looks like italicized, or if I pronounce it right, oof, that was off. But if it's, you know, if it's changed up, you'll notice that the director, they'll tell you, all right, we want this a little bit more emphasized on this specific word. So let's get Ari up here. Ari, come on up. Everybody get a round of applause for Ari. How you doing, Ari?
Doing all right.
All right, all right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a different exercise. So we had Chase, who did more of an exciting, very, very get these guys riled up. But now let's try something completely different. I want you to be an angry character, okay? And basically, Chase over here forgot to bring back mochi for the house.
Dude, really?
Yeah, mochi.
I can't believe I've done this.
Okay, he's making this way more personal than it should be.
All right, so Ari, we're gonna go ahead and take care of that in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Where is it? Why didn't you bring it? I asked. It wasn't like I asked for a limousine. It wasn't like I asked for a ring. Why can't you do one simple task?
The ice cream was right there. I figured they'd be the same thing, right?
Forget it. I'm done. Finished with you.
Honey, please, we can make this work.
Never again. You have broken my soul.
Honey, please, think about the baby.
There's a baby. Oh, crap. I have a baby.
Why do you think you always act like this when you want mochi? I'm sorry, man.
Parent of the year. I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ari and Chase. Incredible, incredible. That was awesome. I actually wasn't expecting that. That was great. So, improv. Great job, guys. So you guys can see the different inflections on how she emphasized some words. I wasn't asking for a limousine. Emphasis on limousine. Notice how she did all those little things to add more dynamics to her performance. Little things to keep in mind. So we still have one more guy left, Jason.
What was with the emphasis on guy?
Come on up, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, get a round of applause for Jason.
Come on, big guy.
What's up?
So, guys, sometimes work can be a drag, right? We can just be like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. Let me pretend I'm sick, right? I call out sick, and you guys say, yeah, I can't come to work today. I just ate some soup from Whole Foods, and I just couldn't do it.
I told you this in confidence.
So, now what I want you to do, I want you to be a character that's really, really sick, okay? And you're calling out to work, and you've been late to work the last 3 days. Super late. We're talking about hour late to work. 3 times in a row. You're on a final strike, mister. And you're kind of scared about making that sick day call, but you really need it because you want to come to SuperCon. So, let's see what you got to do.
1 second.
Oh, he's got the phlegm.
Oh, jeez.
Actually, I'm making my voice a little bit raspy by coughing.
Very nice.
Dude. Hi, John. I'm not coming in today. I know I'm closing. I'm not gonna lie. I've been. My toilet looks like a war zone.
Yeah. It looks like a war zone over here at our marketplace. Well, I need you. What do you mean? You can't just close out on me like that. You've been late the last 3 times. What are you talking about?
I'm giving you like 3 hours notice, man.
It's 3 minutes. Where's your watch?
I'm just not coming in today. I'll call Jimmy or something.
We don't have a Jimmy here. If you would have come to work the last 3 days, you would know that Jimmy's been fired for 5 months.
He owes me $10. Yeah, I'll call you back. I gotta go get $10.
Where do you think you're going? No, don't hang up. Okay, good job, Jason. Good job. So now you guys have a little bit of perspective of what the difference between your voice acting performance. Now you guys now seen a little bit of dynamics, dynamity, inflections in your voice, and the ranges that you can perform. But now there's something really, really key that I want to discuss with everyone. Now, guys, everyone put up the number one. One of the most important things in voice acting ever. This is actually true. Now, the key thing is you want to be careful about when you're doing voice acting is what you eat before you do your lines.
Yeah. No dairy.
No dairy, yes! Bradley for the win with the no dairy! Another pleasure, Bradley, no dairy. That means no coffee, no milk, no ice cream, even if it's the worst day ever, no pudding, none of the stuff, no whipped cream, my secret kryptonite, but
Hey, no soda either.
that too. So make sure you completely avoid dairy products. Now you're probably wondering, well, why not? I like dairy products. I like to drink my muscle milk with extra milk on it, even though it's already soy. Right. So, you know, the thing you have to keep in mind is when you drink milk, it actually brings up more phlegm. It clogs up your diaphragm and it makes you sound terrible. Plus, the worst part is it scratches your throat. You do not want that to happen because then you'll be out of a job for a while.
And you'll sound like a dying cat in the meanwhile.
So you don't want that. So make sure you know certain key things about dietary things before you do a line, before you go into your script. Avoid dairy like the plague before you do lines. I cannot emphasize that enough. I've seen actors that come in, they're like, hey boss, what's going on? I'm like, hey, how's it going? He's like, I'm like, oh, what are you drinking? Oh, you know, I'm just drinking some Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Why? Why would you do that? And they're like, but it's my favorite. Yeah, but my favorite thing is you being healthy and having a good voice. And he's like, what do you mean? Do your lines and you'll find out. 2 seconds later, gone. Lost voice. So you have to be careful with that. And the second big thing is greasy foods. Avoid greasy foods. Because then spicy foods too. Yes, question. I know.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Oh, so
Yes.
about the lines, is it like a daily thing? You can't eat it at all when you're...
Oh, no. Like 2 hours.
Yeah, right before 2 hours. Yeah.
Just stop right before. You can have it after you finish your shift.
Yeah, after you finish
Voice acting is not a lifestyle.
Kind of is.
I mean for like eating.
For eating, eating, I mean, but yeah, just make sure you do it at certain times because never eat 2 hours of dairy products before voice acting or spicy foods or greasy foods because then you'll have the worst time ever. I believe I have a quick question. Yes? Yes, no coffee. I even say no tea. Now everybody's thinking, well, what? Tea? Everybody says tea is like the best thing for voice actors. I'm gonna actually debunk that theory real quick. If you notice about it, tea. If you drink tea a lot, it does what? It lubricates your throat, right? Which what you want as a voice actor. But here's the thing. It does lubricate your throat for a little while, but it also dehydrates you. You guys are probably thinking, wait a minute. My doctor always tells me that, hey, if I'm sick, drink chicken soup, do all these different things, drink, Powerade, Gatorade, all these different things. But the thing you have to keep in mind is the different ingredients inside those products is what's really going to affect you. I always look at tea as more of an after thing. Like you ever see sports players that take like a hot shower, or they call it the freeze bath, so they put like a bunch of ice cubes. Those are things that you can do, except for the ice one, don't do that for your throat. But the hot one, yes. Think of it as you're stretching your muscles, because that's what it is. Your diaphragm, your throat, even your lungs here. It's all in here, all right here. So you're stretching it out a lot, and you're moving it and turning it into different ways to make your voice box hit a certain voice. So you want to make sure that, yes, you take care of it, but you want to be careful knowing the ingredients that go into it. So drink it after, because it'll relax your muscles so you can be more at ease for the day, and you can prep for your next audition, your next play, whatever the case may be. So I look at it as more as an after thing for that. So definitely keep that in mind. But here's a trick, and this is the number one thing that you'll see in the studio. So everybody put the number one again. Number one. The number one thing you'll see in every voice acting studio in the planet. I'm not even kidding. You can ask every single voice actor that's here right now, and they'll tell you the same thing. There's one specific fruit that brings into every single studio. Now let's see what people can figure this one out. Jason, do you know what this is?
Apples?
Yes, green apples is a voice actor's best friend in terms of fruits. So you're probably wondering, well, why green apples? Why not red apples or grapples? Apples and grapes, why not? Well, the thing is specifically with green apples, they have a certain enzyme that really keeps your throat lubricated and it keeps a smack out of your mouth. So a lot of the short sounds will go away. As soon as you eat green apples and 5 minutes or so hit kicks in, and you'll feel hydrated. And you'll actually feel that there's a lot of lubrication, a lot of saliva, to where you can continue performing for a long period of time. And that's a key thing when you're doing voice acting, especially if you're doing, let's say, an all-day session, and you're at the studio just reading lines and lines and lines. And yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You in the bear suit. Question.
The bear suit.
Did you just assume someone's gender?
No, I said you in the bear suit.
Nice try. Question.
I was in chorus and I wanted to know.
Yes.
Does banana also get you feel gassy and bad?
What is that, sorry?
Bananas.
Banana's bad.
Well, here's the thing with bananas, because you can really go either way. Believe it or not, with bananas, here's my thing on it. I mean, I can eat a banana and then I'm fine. I've seen other people that eat a banana and then they don't do so well. It kind of honestly just depends on the person on that one. I know it sounds bizarre and it sounds strange, but it's true, because some people can have the benefits of eating a banana, getting extra potassium. I benefit from it, but let's say Chase does it might not benefit him. So it's kind of really honestly a hit and miss with that, but the for sure one that it's been proven is green apples. Best friend.
Because my teacher is like,
Yeah.
basically, if you don't want to hurt your voice, it's better like not to eat any food except for the apple.
Yep.
Or just drink a lot of water. That's all.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to your chorus teacher. Absolutely, that is correct. So water. Honey? That's another misconception is honey. That actually blew out my voice last year horribly by actually drinking cold water and honey at the same time. Completely lost my voice for like a good month. Really bad. So I'm like, oh, like this, like, want to buy this McDonald's hamburger? They're like, what are you saying? So, don't do cold water and honey. Yes. Hi.
If like I'm like, I don't like water, but like if I put something like color, like flavor in the water, is that still okay?
No, corn syrup. That's a big no. So a lot of the things that we drink, like sodas, all that has like high fructose corn syrup. All that's what's not really good for your voice. I would try to be careful with that. If you necessarily need it and you have to drink water, put very little. Just a little bit, just to give a little taste of something, or even a little lime or lemon works. Actually, you can put a little lime, a little lemon, and that'll help you out with your voice. And so we're gonna take a question over here one more time. For that one, you kind of have to really kind of mess around with, because like I said, certain fruits work. Just avoid anything that's too like really acidic or too citrusy, or anything that makes your mouth like curl up like it's too sour. Avoid that. Or sugar in general, that too. So that's what things you want to be careful with. Yes, ma'am.
What is the recommended temperature for water and lemon?
Lukewarm is good. Not anything too cold or too hot. Lukewarm is perfect. So just room temperature is just fine. And I see a lady taking the purple. Yes, purple hair.
Hi.
Hi.
I am a trained actor, and that's why I can speak to you and I can hear you clearly.
Absolutely.
So I just have a question.
Yes.
So we have databases backstage that constantly list auditions and stuff. Is there a database for voice acting specifically?
Oh,
Yes.
Let's not forget about it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. What I generally do, let's say if I'm finding voice actors. Funny enough, let's say for example, you guys just watch Ruby. You guys know Lindsay Jones Ruby. I just spoke to her earlier today. And last year I handed out my demo reel when I was first starting out voice acting. Terrible demo reel. It was god awful. I'm gonna be very honest. It was probably the worst voice acting demo reel of all time. But I spoke to her today, and I was like, hey, do you remember me? And she's like, you look very familiar. And she's like, hey, you're the guy that handed me the CD, that voice acting CD. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And she's like, yeah, I remember you. And I was like, so we started talking. I was like, hey, it's been a year. I've been doing a lot of training, a lot of practicing every day, and so on and so forth. And then she said, I was like, hey, listen, I have a new demo reel now. Can I pass this on to you in case somebody in Rooster Teeth will use it? And she says, yeah, I'm going to put this in our database. That way we can, with all our actors, so we can keep track of who we want to, scout and hire. I actually do the same thing too. So I have a whole list of people that I look at and I work with, and I listen into their ears or I go into their trainings just to see how they're performing. But it's always key to keep track of your actors, just see as a director standpoint and how you can improve them. If you notice something that their weakest chain is, and if you can improve that, then you're gonna have better production overall. So I hope that answered your question.
Also, if I can hop in.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, just sort of adding on to that, for just sort of finding a database where you can just find a bunch of voice actors. One that I highly recommend, and I'm pretty sure Nick highly recommends, is this website called castingclub.callclub.com.
Yes, I use it all the time.
Castingcall.club.
Oh, well, thank you for correcting me. No, that's basically, if you want to find like a bunch of like local voice actors or basically voice actors in general, and even people who like develop that sort of stuff, that's definitely going to be one of your main websites to go to. I'm not sure if there's any other websites that people use, but that's like the main one that I've been like counting on for quite a while.
Yeah, Casting Call Club is great. You have Voice Bunny for a little bit more professional. You have AMX is another one. There's a whole bunch. Fiverr, that's for freelancing. I'd be kind of careful with Fiverr. Just because if you want to improve into next tier of voice acting. However, I do have one voice actor which they know, which his name is Sean Anthony. So greetings to Sean if you're watching us live in England. He just became a full-time voiceover artist doing via Fiverr. So now he just does it a lot. He gets a lot of gigs and he's doing it all day. So congratulations to him. That's a big, big step in his voice acting world. So big round of applause to Sean Anthony. I know he's not here with us today. But he worked about 3 years on Fiverr to get that. 3 long years, yeah, and I remember him going through a lot of stuff during that time, and I gotta give him credit. He hustled, and now he's doing it full time. So he doesn't work anymore, he just does it from his house studio. Yes?
So what are the names of the databases again?
Oh, that's castingcall.club, Voice Bunny.
Voice Bunny, there's a whole bunch. You can do Behind the Voice Actors, another big one.
That's a big one.
That's where you like audition?
Yeah, you can audition.
Casting Call Club's definitely good for auditions and whatnot, and just sort of like connecting with like different voice actors and different like producers and whatnot. For a lot of like indie stuff, there's a lot of paid stuff on there too.
Absolutely. Then we have another question with the bear outfit. Yes, hello. Oh, perfect question. This is good. We just did what Chase earlier.
Yeah.
Just call them out.
Please do.
Basically, the best way to do it is when you're going into these productions, come in with a clear, conscious mind, because this is something I spoke with Chris again, who plays the Gladio. He says a lot of new actors, when they come in, they tend to get red light fever, which means as soon as they say, all right, you guys ready to do your lines? And they go, all right, 3, 2, 1, bam, red light. And there's scripts right there, and they freeze. They just stop. And then Chris is like, that happens all the time with new actors. I'm like, yeah, that's happened to me before. It's happened to a lot of new actors. The best way to get over that is to relax, loosen up, voice acting warm-ups, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You just can do all these kind of warm-ups. All those little things are key into improving and getting out those nerves. And over time, then through experience, you'll improve that way.
Yeah, can I make?
Yes, go ahead, Jason.
On the getting over the nervousness, something I do is like I'll just I record with Nick, so before I go record with him, I'll just psych myself up. I'll sit in my car for an extra couple minutes. I'll listen to a song that just gets me pumped up, like to name a cliche one, "Eye of the Tiger." You're all way too young for that, so am I. The modern one, listen to Shia LaBeouf yell at you, "Just do it," for like 3 minutes. Yeah. Like, just sit in your car, blast it, just, you can just do it! Like, it will make all the nervousness go away, or just do something that'll make you laugh really hard before you go in, because it gets rid of all the nerves. Just laughing or being motivated is the best way.
Also, Jason, if I could... Oh, did you want to go around?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take first. Okay, I'll take after that.
Another thing for nervousness for me is I just treat it like it's a regular job, a regular, everyday thing. Okay, I'm just going to get this done. I get into character and just relax. Stretches actually help. It's a physical thing, but it really helps, like what he was saying. It really, really helps with it.
You can do it! You feel great! You can do this!
I was gonna start doing that.
What he said.
I was gonna start doing that, and I had to stop myself. Thank you.
One thing that I usually do Makoto, yes?
Hey, what is it for auditions? Was it? Would they give you like the script beforehand, or would they give you there and tell you like kind of improv it, or is it like does it like depend?
It depends.
It depends.
It depends greatly.
Majority of the time, I'll say about a good 90% of the time, they'll give you a script. So you read like a character's line and you kind of go from there.
Yeah, when I auditioned for Igor with Nick's project, there was a script involved. But anyway, continuing on, just sort of like getting the nerves out. One thing that I do, and I sort of discovered, is sort of like a thing called the escalating scream. Sometimes the hardest thing for an actor to do, especially for like a voice actor, is just like loud, booming voices. Because eventually you'll have like the hushed yell, just like the stop it, stop it. But like one thing that you have, it's like, yeah, it's a big place, but just like you got to think, it's a mindset thing and also like a voice thing. One, it's you and the director. It's only 2 guys, so there's no shame to really feel. And second thing is voice-wise. So what I do is basically just sort of like, you start off low. You have like a, and then I'm just going to put this away in case I blow out any ears.
Give me a second?
Yeah, just like it.
All
So
right, you want to do
you
this?
start off just like low.
and then eventually raise up, and eventually gets higher, and then slow blown,
There it is.
like that.
There it is.
That normally gets you into just sort of like that voice mood, and also just sort of like it shakes the nerves away. Like, okay, I'm ready to yell, I'm ready to just like be boisterous or whatever, and even if I want to be silent, like that's cool. You're still getting your voice into that like that right mood, if that makes any sense.
And then Bradley has a question. Bradley.
What's the protocol on characters who shout a lot? How do you actually do that without throwing out your voice after like 10 minutes?
Diaphragm.
You're not
Diaphragm.
Water.
Water and diaphragm. Water and diaphragm without a second doubt in my mind.
I just did like 5 yelling lines with him like literally 2 days ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's hit the deck like 5 different times. Now my neighbors hate me.
Yep.
So
They hated
great.
you already.
They did. All the different lines I've been doing. Come on, can you blame me?
Yes, miss.
So when you're reading a script, how do you like read it flowfully, like without the stuttering and anything?
Yes, Jason.
So actually, I had a problem with that until recently. Like Nick can attest, I would read I usually like to do my lines in 1 or 2 takes to try to get to put it bluntly, a good flow of conversation. Like when I was recording my trailer for Berthold, I did all my lines for the first scene in 1 take, second scene's 1 take, third scene 1 take. Nick suggested that I slow down and do line by line. It makes a huge difference. Just slowing down makes you relax more. It really helps with the flow because a lot of stuff can be done with editing. Like you can edit like the flow of a conversation. You can't edit like if you're talking really fast and you need to you need to get all the lines done articulately. You can't edit like words to sound more clear, but you can always edit something slow like this.
Absolutely. And then real quick, just because we are getting closer to ending of our panel, I did promise the Phantom Thieves over there. Hello, Phantom Thieves. We got 3 different Jokers, one Mikado, Ryuji. Since Persona 5 is one of our biggest projects that we work on.
Big time.
Big time. So we do an audio drama for one of the characters named Goro Kechi, very, very popular. The gentleman over there, Get Smoked, basically is one of our biggest productions that we're currently running, and we're about to wrap up our first arc. So it's been about a year that we've been doing it. I currently voice Goro Kechi, so if we don't mind, and to a nod to you guys, to all the Persona fans that really supported us in the beginning, you guys were a huge drive for our company into getting to what we do now. Chase, you mind if we do a little quick improv between Goro Kechi and Igor?
Don't make it weird, guys.
I'm trying not to.
Make it weird. Make it Tumblr weird. You're welcome.
I'll start it off.
Leave that for the fans.
All right, ready?
Let's.
Oh, hey there, Igor. It's me, Goro Kechi.
Hi, Goro. What's up?
Hey, look, listen, I've been wondering. Do you think it's possible that we can go for some ice cream?
Ice cream? At this day and age? Do you know what time it is, Goro?
No. Why don't you tell me?
It's 3 in the morning.
So it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Listen, I have a whole month scheduled ahead of me, alright? This shaggy-haired kid keeps coming in. He wants his Personas views. I've got Caroline on the phones. I got Justine handling the files. It's basically this whole big thing going around. And I'm not sure if I could even fit you into my schedule. I gotta think. Like, I've got conferences. I got fusion summonings. I've got weapons to make. It's this big thing, Goro.
Wow. It really looks like you need a vacation.
Big time. I've been in this shit for 5 games.
Oh, only 1 for me. But I look forward to being in more. I hope you guys, Phantom Thieves, enjoy that.
Sure, kid.
The YouTube page for the trailer.
Absolutely. And by the way, guys, if you guys want to see more of what we do have our Attack on Titan trailer on our YouTube page, which you can find by simply searching Open House Studio, which we'll be doing some live personal Q&As with you guys in case some of you guys are a little bit nervous to raise your hand and speak, because I know sometimes public speaking can be a bit nerve-wracking.
Trust me, I know the feels.
I would love to speak with you guys and talk to you guys. We do have a tour coming up. We have one Anime EY Mini, January 29th, $5 to get in, and it's an entire convention, it's a complete anime convention only. It's all anime stuff. We got a live band, orchestra band playing anime music, and it's something you guys don't want to miss.
$5.
That's literally
That's
$5.
one whole Subway sandwich minus the tax.
That's a meal at Taco Bell.
That's cheaper than parking at SuperCon.
Hey! But yeah, definitely something you guys want to check out. Of course, we do have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/OpenHouseStudioX. And if it's something you guys want to further improve about voice acting, shoot me a message. I'm always on my phone all the time. If you have any questions, or if you think about, hey, we're going to get for auditions, or if you are a voice actor and like to audition, shoot me a message. I answer to everybody. I don't mind doing that. And we'll also have another convention with the same company, Anime EY, in November, which is our big one. So if you guys love Attack on Titan, and I mean truly love Attack on Titan, we're going to be doing a live dubbing episode with full-on projectors, a full orchestra band. And we're going to have a lot of people from my studio flying down for this, so it's a big, big event. I'm having live performers that are going to be doing hip-hop, rap for our third production that I'm currently writing. So it's going to be a huge mixture. So from video game, anime to hip-hop to electro, it's going to be insane. So definitely don't want to miss that in November.
Also, if you think our improv is good, wait till you see us doing it live.
Yeah, like actual improv and everything.
They just did.
Well, you know,
I mean, in character.
In character. So then, you know, we have
You
a lot.
guys weren't in character?
No.
It's just who they are.
It's who we are. This is how we look 24/7. I talk to myself all the time. Yeah, basically.
Never break character.
So yeah, definitely guys, November is also, since we do a lot of philanthropy work within the community, we're doing a fundraiser for the Autism Foundation, Anime EY Mini, and as well an Anime EY's big event in November. So we'd love for you guys to come support us and help us do with our fundraiser. All the proceeds go strictly to the Autism Foundation of Florida, and it's been one of my biggest philanthropy for the last 2 years, so it's really near and dear to my heart. You know, hopefully you guys can come out and attend. So if you guys want, or you guys have questions, or you guys want to know more about voice actor, we're going to be standing right here by our banner here. We're going to be taking photos if you guys, or you got questions, or want to know more about what we do. Until then, guys, please share, like our Facebook page. Once again, it's facebook.com/Open House Studio X. And to, once again, for Chase, a round of applause for Chase being here, ladies and gentlemen. The power. Then we have Jason as well. And then for Ari as well. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nick, president of Open House Studio. Thank you so much for coming to our panel. We'll be on this side if you have any questions. Until then, enjoy your convention!
Thank you!
Like, favorite, subscribe.